What's up out there, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. I hope you guys are doing well out there on this hot Tuesday, and I hope y'all are keeping cool. It is hot out there today. Well, we have the infamous Google back in the news again for mishandling, misusing, the rights and data of the American public through Android. It says here, Google ordered to pay $314 million in Android data privacy lawsuit. Okay, probably about 8 months ago, Google was ruled against by the DOJ for actually monopolizing other search engines. You see what I mean? They got caught doing that, where they had to pay out a lot of money. They owed Russia $20 decillion, however amounts that is. A lot of money, I know that. More than 20 millions. I think it was more than what the sister company was even worth. You know what I mean? And then you got uncountless lawsuits against Google as it is, for discrimination. You know what I mean? And on top of that, you even have the DOJ considering basically breaking Google up altogether. You know what I'm saying? And why wouldn't they, when you think about it? Because it seems like this mega giant right here, social media giant, whatever you want to call them, is always caught doing something illegal that goes against the rules. And as we know, on just like social media here on YouTube, the little underhanded things that they're doing, just being mean and unfair. A lot of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, But to get into this story right here, it reads, a jury in San Jose, California said on Tuesday that Google misused customer cell phone data and must pay more than $314.6 million to Android smartphones users in the state, according to an attorney for the plaintiffs. The jury agreed with the plaintiffs that Alphabet's Google.O was liable for sending and receiving information from the device without permission while they were idle, causing what the lawsuit had called mandatory and unavoidable burdens shouldered by Android device users for Google benefits. Okay? See, there's always some kind of laws being broke. Just like, for example, your right to post a clean, proper comment and it just gets wiped away, right here on this platform. You see what I mean? Holding people channels down, making sure they don't get a lot of views. See, this is what leads me to believe when situations like this arise about Google, that they're guilty. Okay, just because of what I see, what they do here on Google YouTube. Okay, let's continue. Google spokesperson Jose Castaneda said in a statement that the company would appeal and that the verdict misunderstands servers that are critical to the security, performance, and reliability of Android devices. Okay, what y'all doing messing with people's phones, stealing data? You see what I'm saying? Look at all the things that they're doing. I can guarantee you, if the everyday person gets caught doing things like this, and you got people out here, hackers, that are actually doing things like it, but if they get caught, they're gonna do some time and pay out some fines. Okay, so hey, what's up with Google? They're no better. They're just a conglomerate doing these things right here. Okay, the plaintiff's attorney Glenn Summers said the verdict forcefully vindicates the merits of this case and reflects the seriousness of Google's misconduct. The plaintiffs filed the class action in state court in 2019 on behalf of an estimated 14 million Californians. That's a lot of people. 14 million Californians. There's a lot of small towns that got that many people in it, okay? They argued that Google collected information from idle phones running its Android operating system for company uses like targeted advertising, consuming Android users, cellular data at their expense. And then at that person's expense, you ripping them off with their data and then they paying for it, okay? Google told the court that no Android users were harmed by the data transfers. Now, right there, that is an admission of guilt right there. You admit to the crime, talking about, well, they weren't harmed, but you was doing it. You said other words, you was doing it. Here, to continue, and that users consented to them in the company's terms, service, and privacy policies. Another group filed a separate lawsuit in federal court in San Jose, bringing the same claims against Google on behalf of Android users and other 49 states. That case is scheduled for trial in April 2026. Okay, continuously. Well, that's all that article has. But yeah, Google. Like I said, I can see if Google continues like this, and what YouTube and the things that YouTube is doing. I know what I see on YouTube. What's happening here? If they continue, if they let them continue like this, YouTube is going to crash and burn. And that's just what it is. See, you can only do wrong for so long. This is another major crack in the foundation of Google. You see what I mean? How many cracks can a foundation sustain before the whole house comes tumbling down? Okay, and that's just basically what this boils down to. You see, why can't y'all do things the right way? Why you gotta be reprobate and violate people's rights? You know, it's just like with the antitrust law, you know what I'm saying, that you were monopolizing, you know, other search engines, where every time, like, people like us would put in a search, other search engines didn't get a chance to even, you know, pop up, because Google was jumping in the way, and all you got was Google, Google, Google. You see what I mean? And that's basically what it is. It has to be some major changes going on to clean this platform up before it collapses. Major changes. You gotta get some of these people out of power that are doing these criminal things, and it is criminal. This is criminal right here. You have no right stealing from the people the data, you know, from these Android phones without their knowledge. And you have no right of tricking people in these little slick, you know, documents that people sign, which more than likely a lot of these people don't know what they signing. You probably need an attorney to read through these things before him to explain it to you before you sign these things and agree to it. The terms and conditions. You see what I mean? Because more than likely it's not right. It's not fair. But that's just what it is. Like I said, the next thing is going to come out about Google, and it's going to be Google YouTube, about all this unfair and unjust things they are doing to content creators, and also the everyday foundational people that make up YouTube. You people make YouTube work. You know what I'm saying? All of you people that come to the, you know, subscribe to channels and voice your opinions, you are the foundation of YouTube. See what I'm saying? And they don't treat a lot of y'all right. Y'all comments get erased. You see what I'm talking about? A lot of you, you know, get blocked. All kinds of things, you know. And then when these things happen, a lot of you might be left thinking, well, it's the content creator that did it. No, it don't be us it don't be us. A lot of times it don't. It actually be YouTube that unsubscribes you, all kinds of stuff. You see what I'm saying? But like I said, remember, y'all the foundation. You either put up with it or you don't put up with it. Y'all got the power. If you understand what I'm saying. I did a video about a couple months ago, I think it was, that you can actually report a lot of these things that you feel if your rights are being violated. You know what I'm saying? Your First Amendment right. You know, right to freedom of speech. If you feel like your rights are being violated, take it to the DOJ. You see what I'm saying? They already mad at Google anyway. Talk to them about it. You see what I'm saying? And like I said, eventually they're going to get tired of hearing about these things. It's going to be another lawsuit they ass going to be basically rude, you know, against. And that's just what it is. That's all I got on this one, people. I want you guys to tell me what you think about this particular video right here in the comment section. That's if you can comment, because this very thing I'm talking about, y'all comments might get blocked. You know what I mean? I'm not blocking them. YouTube is blocking them. Making that clear. You see? But if you can, let me know what you think. Like, share, and subscribe. Some of you can't even do that. A lot of you tried to like, and the like button, you know what I mean, it won't let you like the video. See, those are other things. I'm making these things known, clear. Same thing with subscribing. But anyway, do what you can do. Remember what I said, y'all the foundation to YouTube, and that's just what it is. People, please remember to live your life as though we're being watched, simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.